Okay, EV road trip into a charging desert number 4 was Linville Falls. Linville Falls is in North Carolina in the Highlands region, off the Blue Ridge Parkway. It is maintained by the National Park Service as a part of the Blue Ridge Parkway system. They do have their own visitor center, and their own recreation area that they maintain as a part of the Blue Ridge Parkway. A lot of the Blue Ridge Parkway, which was built by the CCC back in the Great Depression, doesn't have areas like that, but because Linville Falls is so popular, it does. And it doesn't have its own separate park. It's just a part of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So this is where it is on the PlugShare map. And you can see there's no chargers there. And to zoom out, still no chargers. Still no chargers. Nothing. Way down here in Little Switzerland, there's some chargers. So this is definitely for sure a charging desert. This is Boone up here, and you can get chargers there, but there's nothing around here as far as charging infrastructure goes. This is way too far away, and you can't take that road in. Basically, the road that you need to come in is you take Interstate 40, and then you come up here, and my good friends at Jim Cook Chevrolet have their free DC fast charger. That's the one I hit. But there is just nothing around here. So this was definitely a stretch. And for me, I did this as an overnight trip. I did some glamping in my car in order to stage my full day hiking over at Linville Falls. Otherwise, it would have been too much to try to drive all the way there, do all the hiking, and drive all the way back home all in one day. So I split it up by taking a good portion of the trip, getting there the night before, and taking a chunk off the trip. All right, so this is me at the falls. Incredibly strenuous hike, but made it into the gorge, which is at the base of the waterfall. Right there. Whew. So the hike down into this gorge was ridiculously strenuous. They didn't advertise how bad it was going to be at the top well enough, in my opinion. It was a steep incline on a narrow trail that was very rocky. I had some hiking shoes that I had brought with me, so I was okay, and I'm in fairly good health. So the strenuous hike going down and back up was okay for me, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it for everyone. I tend to hike quickly solo. I make good time, but it was a feat getting down into this gorge.
Inside the gorge, this place is utterly amazingly beautiful. I'm sure the video doesn't do it justice, but we're in a bit of a U-shaped gorge carved out of stone, with Linville Falls flowing right into a big fresh mountain water pool.
There's me next to the falls. All right, so let's talk about the trip. Oh wait, no, there's some more video here. Let's see. Just pristine natural beauty. Again, that water's all drinkable. Headwaters are up in the highlands, out of the mountains. Spectacularly beautiful. Hard to put into words. Looking down from a higher elevation. There's a sheer rock face with the water flowing out of it. Yeah. So 0.7 miles down to Linville Gorge, but that was a hike, man. And I did the Duggars Creek. I did all these, and that's why I positioned myself the day before. This plant right here is a rhododendron. They're all over the mountains. Feel free to pause and read if you wish. There's me on top of the falls. And on top of the falls, there's this little cascade going into a pool before it hits the main falls. This is the more popular hike because you don't have to go down into the gorge. You get to stay on top, and it's a much easier hike. I'll get into the EV charging statistics here in a bit. There's a couple of slides later on. Just enjoying the natural beauty of this first couple of slides. Very popular location. The parking lot was full this day, which was a Friday. If you fall down in there, you're dead for sure, because the first drop over that lands you on a big rock face. You're gonna crack your head or break your back or something. And here it is from the long shot overlook view, and this is where we were just before, up in the upper level falls area, and this is what they call the overlook. And where I was down before in the gorge was in this area down here, which is evergreen branches blocking. And there's the falls. A couple of duckleheads trying to get an echo. There's part of the hiking trail. You can see it is got some effort associated with it to get to and from. There's me down in the gorge after thinking it was not so much of a good idea to make that hike because I had to go back up. And now we're going into the Duggars Creek section. I like the strata. These Appalachian Mountains are said to be originally formed during Pangea before the continents broke apart, so they're very ancient rocks. I really like this quote. I find that truthful. More strata. And there is Duggar Creek Falls. It's just a little spit of a thing, but it sure is peaceful. Again, there's the Duggar Creek Falls, the bridge, and the creek. So beautiful during peak fall foliage season. Maintained by the National Park Service. There's the office and gift shop. And also the damn trail maps that don't tell you how much of an issue you're getting into when you go down in that gorge thing. This was my breakfast that day. Coffee, yogurt, cheese stick, and a spectacular view. This right here is the Blue Ridge Parkway. This bridge, which is a triple viaduct or triple arch bridge, is the only triple arch bridge on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and this was built by the CCC back in the Great Depression. Hasn't needed maintenance since. It's made by cut stone, and they definitely knew what they were doing. Kind of hard to see, but there was a couple of deer that went running through a picnic area that I was in. Couldn't get close to them. They were nervous of the people. More waterways in the park. And again, it's part of the Blue Ridge Parkway system, maintained by the Department of the Interior, Linville Falls. This is the quiet EV experience, cruising on into town without any internal combustion engine noise, with the mountains in the distance as I start to make my way up in altitude. And here I am, pulling 50 kilowatts before headed into the mountains at Jim Cook Buick Chevy GMC. Let's see. Yeah, so that was just recap. Here's an Ingalls that I stopped at in order to get the pictures for PlugShare. I didn't really need that charge. I was going to Jim Cook in order to get the DC fast charge, but I just stopped by here in order to record it for PlugShare. And that's it. That was a really good trip. Linville Falls was really beautiful. I recommend if you've never been, to stop by if you're going down the Blue Ridge Parkway area. It's definitely worth the time. And as far as EV road trips go, it is definitely a charging desert, so you need to plan your stops accordingly.